Hey, this is Lance and Nate. Nate, say hey.
Hi.
Hey, coming to you actually from the car. Yeah, it's kind of awkward, I know. We've been in Louisville, Kentucky for the Southern Baptist Convention and wanted to let you know kind of what was going on up there. And so hopefully you can see us. And we're driving actually now to Atlanta for the Niche Conference with Tim Elmore. I'm excited about that. We'll hopefully give you some updates on kind of some things going on there. But Louisville, Kentucky, let me tell you a little bit about what happens. Every year, the Southern Baptist Convention has an annual meeting. It's a couple days in a different city that they kind of pick around the country. This year was Louisville, Kentucky. And in Louisville this year, what happens is of the 44,000+ churches in the country that choose to affiliate with the Southern Baptist Convention, they can elect messengers to come to the convention and represent their churches for anything that happens with the Southern Baptist Convention. Honestly, churches are autonomous in Baptist life, especially Southern Baptist, so they're not really required to follow things that the Southern Baptists vote or do, but they are encouraged to, and it's kind of a guideline that they follow. There are certain things they do follow. The Baptist faith and message is a big part of kind of who we are as core Southern Baptists. But I won't get into all the particulars at this point, really, to bore you. But what happens is they come through and they have resolutions and they give reports of how the money that's given through the cooperative program works. So any church that gives money to the Southern Baptist Convention or through the state offices, our offices to the national convention, literally that money is used by the Southern Baptist Convention to do missions, to do ministry. There's a bit of it that goes toward administration, but a lot of it's really focused on national and really more so than anything, international missions, as well as religious education. So the seminaries that are a part of it, Southwestern being in our backyard in Texas, as well as the other 5 Baptist seminaries around the country, are all part of this. That's a whole lot of information. Maybe you knew it all, maybe you didn't want to know it at all. What I will say, one of the neat things that came out of this convention that we were excited about is something called the Great Commission Resurgence, and a Great Commission kind of task force that was produced. Some of the Baptists really got together and said, you know what, Baptists really maybe aren't. We should be, but maybe we've gotten away from the focus that we need to have on making sure the Great Commission is going into all the world. And so what happened was there was kind of a group of folks, about 4,000, that had signed this petition, really kind of calling the Southern Baptist Convention back to the basics of, the Great Commission, a focus to make sure that the funds that are being used in the different places are really about the Great Commission and about training our folks to go into all the world and share the gospel. And so it really was kind of a neat thing to be a part of. It was a night when there were some people that were in opposition to it and on the floor and said some things, but really almost 90-95% of the people really voted in unison to make that proclamation. And literally what happens from it is they've just put some folks together. They're going to look and make sure that the convention as a whole is being faithful with everything. It's a great thing. You may say, how does that affect us? It affects us because I think there was some momentum built by younger Southern Baptists at this convention. We got to hear David Platt, who you've heard probably, we've talked about before, you may have heard, 30-year-old pastor at Brook Hills, did 2 messages at the convention and just literally blew the convention away with a focus on missions and a biblical focus and just exegeting the scriptures. There were a couple of sessions for younger Baptists. Baptist 21 and Mark Dever did some things called 9 Marks at 9, where they just had some younger guys that kind of were on a panel, in discussion about some things about what it means to be a Southern Baptist and why it's important and what we can do to make a difference. And they focused a lot on, in our local churches, we just have to present the Great Commission and the gospel and focus on that, but be a part of things like the Southern Baptist Convention and be a part of Southern Baptist life, because we do agree that working together we can accomplish the mission of the gospel going around the world, and the fact that we can help train our leaders and pastors and seminary professors for the next generations through what we cooperate and do together. So it was a great thing. We'll be sending you links, and we'll let you see some links on some of our stuff of where you can go read some of the articles and different stuff that were put together. But having been to several of these, this was one that was really encouraging for younger Baptists, helping us see just some of the positive things that are coming out, hopefully in the future, for Southern Baptists.